The number of firefighters has hit a shocking record low in the first annual figures since the Grenfell Tower disaster. Critics warn safety is at risk after fire safety audits also plummeted by 14% in the year before the tragedy. Home Office figures revealed there are now 35,602 firefighters in England, the lowest since records began in 2002 and a fall of 283 in the year. Those working full-time fell even more dramatically by 531, pushing the fall in full-time equivalent firefighters to 4% in just 1 year. The latest blow comes on top of brutal cuts to full-time firefighters of almost 3% per year since 2009. Labour, which has pledged to hire 3,000 more firefighters, demanded a cash injection to keep the public safe after response times remained the slowest on record. Shadow Fire Services Minister Chris Williamson said, "The fire service is struggling to cope after 7 years of reckless cuts." The figures reveal the limits of the Tories' concern for improving fire safety. Lib Dem MP Wera Hobhouse warned fire services are being cut to the bone and Grenfell showed an urgent need to invest more in safety checks. She added, "The government must reverse these cuts and give fire services the resources to keep our communities safe." The figures show the entire fire service workforce has fallen from 51,700 in 2009 to 40,200 in 2017. That drop includes 8,900 fewer firefighters, a 21% fall, and 2,600 fewer control and support staff, a fall of 27%. The number of home risk checks rose slightly last year from 581,364 in 2015-16 to 590,198 in 2016-17. But Labour said home risk checks were still down by 185,000 since the Tories took power. And the figures show there were just 54,247 fire safety audits in 2016-17, leading to 68 prosecutions. That is a 14% drop on the 63,201 audits and 99 prosecutions 1 year earlier, and a 36% drop since the 84,575 audits in 2010-11. The figures cover the period to the end of March, 2.5 months before the Grenfell Tower disaster. A Downing Street spokeswoman paid tribute to firefighters who do vital life-saving work, including their brilliant response to Grenfell. But she defended staff cuts, saying the work of the fire service has changed hugely after the number of incidents halved in a decade. She also said early retirements were a factor in 11% of all fire service staff leaving their posts last year. "We are always making sure they have the resources they need to do their vital work," the spokeswoman added. FBU General Secretary Matt Rack said, "The fire and rescue service is in crisis. 7 years of budget cuts have left the public at greater risk as there are far fewer firefighters left to respond to emergencies. We've seen thousands of frontline firefighter posts axed and dozens of fire stations closed with the result that it's taking a lot longer for fire crews to arrive at emergencies. In a fire, every second counts. It can make the difference between life and death. If the government is serious about keeping the public safe, they should use the upcoming budget as an opportunity to bring the cuts to fire and rescue services to an end and invest in the service instead." Disasters like the fire at Grenfell Tower show how important and valued our emergency services are. MPs from all parties should support investment into the fire and rescue service in order to maintain a world-class, professional service that keeps us all safe. A Home Office spokeswoman said, "There is no target number of fire safety audits that fire and rescue services must carry out each year. This government has announced an independent review of building regulations and fire safety in the summer. We must learn from the outcomes of this review and will take all the necessary steps to make sure an incident like Grenfell can never happen again."